A bracteate is a flat, thin, single-sided gold medal worn as jewelry that was produced in Northern Europe predominantly during the migration period of the Germanic Iron Age. The term is also used for thin discs, especially in gold, to be sewn onto clothing in the ancient world, as found for example in the ancient Persian Oxus Treasure, and also later silver coins produced in Central Europe during the early Middle Ages. Gold bracteates from the migration period. Gold bracteates commonly denote a certain type of jewelry, made mainly in the 5th to 7th century AD, represented by numerous gold specimens, bead-rimmed and fitted with a loop. Most were intended to be worn suspended by a string around the neck, supposedly as an amulet. The gold for the bracteates came from coins paid as peace money by the Roman Empire to the northern Germanic neighbors. Motifs. Many of the bracteates feature ruler portraits of Germanic kings with characteristic hair that is plaited back, and depictions of figures from Germanic mythology influenced to varying extents by Roman coinage, while others feature entirely new motifs. The motifs are commonly those of Germanic mythology, and some are believed to be Germanic pagan icons giving protection for divination, often depicted as a figure with a horse, birds and sometimes a spear, that some scholars interpret as a representation of the Germanic god Woden, and aspects of the figure that would later appear in 13th century depictions as Odin, such as the poetic Edda. For this reason the bracteates are a target of iconographic studies by scholars interested in Germanic religion. Several bracteates also feature runic alphabet inscriptions. Numerous bracteates feature swastikas as a common motif. Typology. The typology for bracteates divides them into several letter-named categories, a system introduced in an 1855 treatise by the Danish numismatist Christian Jørgensen Thomsen named Om Guld Bracteaten og Bracteatens Tidligste Brug som Mynt, and finally defined formally by the Swedish numismatist Oscar Montelius in his 1869 treatise Från Journalen of Bracteates, showing the face of a human, modeled after antique imperial coins. B. Bracteates. 1 to 3 human figures in standing, sitting and kneeling positions, often accompanied by animals. C. Bracteates, showing a male's head above a quadruped, often interpreted as the Germanic god Woden. D. Bracteates, showing one or more highly stylized animals. E. Bracteates, showing an animal triskel under a circular feature. F. Bracteates, as a subgroup of the D. Bracteates, showing an imaginary animal. M. Bracteates, two-sided imitations of Roman imperial medallions. Corpus. More than 1,000 migration period bracteates of type A, B, C, D, and F are known in total. Of these, 135 bear elder Futhark inscriptions, which are often very short. The most notable inscriptions are found on the Sealand DC, Vadstena and Tuco bracteates. To these can be added the California 270 bracteates, which belong to the Vendel period and thus are slightly later than the other types. They were produced only on Gotland, and while the earlier bracteates all were made from gold, many bracteates were made from silver or bronze. The German historian Karl Hauck, Danish archaeologist Morten Axbo and German rhinologist Klaus Duhl have worked since the 1960s to create a complete corpus of the early Germanic bracteates from the migration period, complete with large-scale photographs and drawings. This has been published in 3 volumes in German named Die Goldbracteaten der Völkerwanderungsjährte. Iconographische Catalog. A catalog supplement is included in Heisman and Amp Expo 2011. Early medieval bracteates. Silver bracteates are different from the migration period bracteates and were the main type of coin minted in German-speaking areas, with the exception of the Rhineland, beginning at around 1130 in Saxony and Thuringia, and were taken out of circulation at about 1520. In some cantons of Switzerland, bracteate like Rappen, Heller, and Angster were produced during the 18th century. The term bracteate for these coins was not used contemporarily. It was first used in the 17th century. The bracteates were usually called back regularly, about once or twice a year, and could be exchanged for new coins with a deduction. This system worked like a demurrage. People wouldn't hoard the coins, because they lost the value, so this money was used more as a medium of exchange than for storing value. This increased the velocity of money and stimulated the economy. Medieval silver bracteates may be large, but most are about 15 mm across and weigh about 1 gram. Sometimes the coins could be divided to pay smaller amounts. The town leagues were not interested in such a system and introduced in 1413 the Uegerpfennig. Without this decay,